And so our speaker today is none other than our own Coach Dan Johnson, someone that's near and dear to my heart, someone that I've known for quite some time now, and someone who is always motivating, wanting the best out of any situation that he's in. And so I am so glad to be in here and in Wakanda with him, in business with him, and having him as our coach. So, Coach Dan, are you out there?
All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, my Miss Phyllis, how are you this morning?
I'm very good, and you?
I am empowered. I am empowered. It is such a beautiful out here. I am super excited for another day, another opportunity. Watch this, you guys, to get it right. Another opportunity to soar, another opportunity to grow, another opportunity to learn, another opportunity um, to 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 reach the goals that have been established. And I don't know about you guys, but I know that there's some people that did not wake up to another opportunity because they didn't wake up. But I'm grateful that those of you that are on this call with me this morning, I'm grateful for another opportunity. Listen, this past Sunday, this past weekend was the All Star weekend for the National Basketball Association, and one of the greatest shooters of all time, participated in the All Star game. Um, may have heard of him. His name is Steph Curry. Steph Curry broke two records on this last time during this All Star game. The first record he broke was shooting more threes in a single game than any other player. And then he broke that record again, and he ended the night with 16 three-pointers in one game. He became so bold and so confident as he was shooting that he started shooting the ball without looking and still making it. In an interview that I was reading in Inc. magazine, in the interview, Steph Curry is asked the question, "What is the secret to being successful? What is the secret in being at the top of your game? What is the secret in being the greatest of all times to ever play the game? What is that secret?" And he said that he fundamentally believes that the difference between winning and losing is directly connected to this principle or this mindset or this instruction. And that is, he said, don't cheat the game. He said, if you really want to be successful, if you really want to win in life, in whatever role that you are in, he said, don't cheat the game. And so when you begin to think about this, the question you got to ask yourself is, how do you cheat the game? Well, you cheat the game, I've found, and I've identified this as I read the article. You cheat the game in three ways. Now, this is not what he said. Now, this is what I'm saying to you. But you cheat the game, number one, by not being prepared on game day. Not being prepared on game day. One of the things that we understand about Steph Curry is that not only does he go to practice, not only does he practice with this team, but Steph Curry shoots 1,000 shots a day. 1,000 shots a day. Before he even gets to the practice floor, before the coaches come in and tell him what to do, he already shoots 1,000 shots a day. Now, when you're shooting 1,000 shots a day, eventually you're bound to develop the necessary muscle memory for those shots to be automatic and those shots to fall. He shoots 1,000 shots a day. And what we have to understand is that if we're going to properly play the game that we're in, and if we're going to, and that's the game of business, if we're going to build this business, we cannot cheat the game. The second thing is, so the first thing is preparation. The second thing that you must do in order to not cheat the game is you must practice. And preparation is different than practice. In preparation, let me put it in business context. In preparation, you got to learn your plays. You got to learn. You got to learn the system. In preparation, you're going to have to make certain that you understand your products and understand how the products affect the body. In preparation, you have to make certain that you learn how to properly position the proposition that you're speaking to. Learn how to discern whether or not this is a customer, or whether or not it's a business builder. In preparation, there's some things that you must do. You must have your stuff together. You must have some samples in your car. You understand? There's preparation that's involved. But then the next thing you do, you got to practice. That means the very thing that you prepared for, you have to put it in practice. You got to put it in practice. You actually have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. And the reason you have to do it is because the more you do it, the more you move. And so and the more you improve. So you got to do it, you guys. One of the challenges that we have is that we learn a lot of things, but we don't properly practice it. So like right now, I'm speaking to you on the morning calls. We speak to you. We learn the information. We gather all of the things that we need to gather. We come to the presentations, but what we don't do is we don't put it in practice. We don't put into practice what it is that we're learning. We learn the system, but we don't put into practice to execute the system. And it's these types of things that we're going to have to do if we're going to really begin to be at the top of our game. At the top of our game. The next thing is you got to learn how to play through it. You got to play through it. If we're really going to be who we are created to be, who we desire to be, we got to play through it. What does that mean? That means that Steph Curry has gone right before the All-Star game, right before he broke the record in three-point shooting. He was having the worst shooting season of his career. Now listen to this. He was having the worst shooting season of his career. Right before the All-Star break, he was having the worst shooting season of his career. But he gets in the game. And despite the fact he was having the worst shooting season of his career, he kept on shooting. He played right through it. He played through the criticism. He played through the feeling of failure. He played through the sense of discouragement. He played through all of the questions that was being asked. Are we seeing the decline? He played through all of the tricks that was playing on his mind. And as a result of that, after shooting the worst season of his career, having the worst shooting season of his career, he comes back and he breaks records. And so many of you that are joining us in the March Madness, some of you are looking at March Madness as a lifeline for you and your business. Some of you are looking at March Madness as your opportunity to take over and take control of your business, to take your business to the next level. I want you to understand that as you go through March Madness, no matter what season you have come in, whether it's been a season of success, whether it's been a drought season, whether it's been a season of disappointment and discouragement, whatever season you were in, if you just play through it, if you put yourself in the game and play through it and don't cheat the process, let me tell you, this March Madness can be absolutely mad for you in the fact that this can be a record-breaking month for you. I need y'all to get that. I need y'all to get that really quickly but you cannot cheat the game. You cannot cheat the game. You got to prepare. You got to practice. You got to play through it. You got to play through it because if you don't, you will eventually, watch this, begin to allow your mindset of losing to become your defeat in the game. If you take shortcuts in the game, here's another thing. Some of us desire to take shortcuts in our preparation. We take shortcuts. We don't work the system as the system is designed for us to work. We don't have weekly meetings with our team. We don't have multiple presentations with our team. We're not hosting virtual parties. We're taking shortcuts. And when you take we're not sending out the videos. We're not allowing them to watch the videos, and then we call back and say, what did you like the most? We're taking shortcuts. We're not calling enough people. Let me give you an example. I tell you about my son, Chris. I tell you about my son, Chris, all the time. And when I tell you about my son, Chris, I told you that he is, for January and February, or December and January, he was the top producer. And the first week of February, he was the top producer out of about 50 salespeople. And here's what happened, you guys. So he calls me yesterday. He said, Dad, I need to talk to you. I said, what we need to talk about? He said, I just closed the deal for $7,200. He said, but I'm only at $30,000 for the month. And there's another person last week that had a $20,000 week. And as a result, I'm down by $15,000. He's at $45,000. I'm at $30,000, and I got 1 week left. Here's the question that I asked him. I said, how much money have you asked for that you're waiting on a response? He said, huh? I said, well, how many potential clients do you have in a hopper that you've already talked to, you've already gave presentation, and you're just waiting on them to respond with an answer? He said, maybe about 4,000 or 5,000. I said, there's no way possible you're going to catch him because you're not asking for enough money. So I said, so here's what you got to do today. I'm giving you 24 hours to get to the office, to get on the phone, to make the calls, to ask for $30,000 in the next 24 hours. You have to ask for $30,000 in the next 24 hours. Because now what you're going to do is you're going to set yourself up. Even if you don't get, if they don't give you answers this week, you'll set yourself up for at least the first couple of days. Maybe you can close them and catch them next week. But if you don't ask for enough, you won't get enough. And that's what I'm saying to you guys today. I'm saying to you that you can't cheat the game. The game that you're in is a numbers game. And if you're not talking to enough people, if you're not getting to meet enough people, if you're not making enough calls, if you're not doing enough presentations, then you will be cheating the game. And as a result of cheating the game, guess what? You ultimately cheat yourself. You ultimately cheat yourself. And then now you're disappointed and you blame it on the game. It's not the game. It's that you're taking shortcuts. It's not the problem isn't the game. The problem may be your strategy in the game. The problem may be your lack of preparedness in the game. The problem may be your lack of practicing the game. The problem may be your inability, your inability to be mentally tough to play through the challenges of the game. The difference between the winner and the loser is that when the winner is losing, they keep shooting. They keep playing.
Preach.
Are y'all understanding what I'm saying?
I am.
So if you really want to be a winner, you can't cheat the game. Because when you cheat the game, you ultimately cheat yourself. Listen, I'm not done, but that is my time. I'm going to pass it back to our midwife, our CSO, the fantabulous, the wonderful, awesome Phyllis Nash. Y'all have a supernaturally kind of day.
Yeah, you dropped the mic this morning and you went walking right down my lane. You know, when you're talking to people, you think, are they listening? Do they hear me? Coach Dan, one of the things I heard you say was that he tells 1,000 shots a day. That's mind blowing. How many people do we talk to a day? How can you miss if you're hitting 1,000 shots a day? Like you said, he could close his eyes and that ball is going to connect because it knows where it's supposed to go. He knows what he's doing. And that's what happens when you follow the system day in and day out. And sometimes, Coach Dan, you think people aren't listening, but yesterday, 2 full crown jewels were purchased through one person being a brand new person in the business, getting their sponsor talking to them within 48 hours, them getting on the phone, getting people to hear things. They signed up 2 people with a phase 3. Another person turned around and came through and signed up somebody with a full crown jewel. Guess what they used? 3-way calling. They used the tools. Another person turned around, did a 3-way, had 3 ways done. They're signing up someone today with a full crown jewel. So sometimes they do listen to you. And it's in a matter of time. We're talking now, all 3 of these sales started on Sunday, guys. Sunday. And by today, Wednesday, it'll be another full crown jewel. So sometimes they listen. And that's what we want you to do, because guess what? We all win. You only have to follow the system. The system works. It's proven over and over. You can't leave out steps. 3-way calls are so major. Look at what happens when you continue to do and follow the system. You can't say Steph Curry. I don't know these sports guys' names, but I do know him. I mean, to be able to say, I do this 1,000 a day. And guess what? The 2 people that got those 3 people that got that activity done in their business, both of them, one is in school and working a job. One is a full-time entrepreneur, but they carved out time to call people, to follow up. They set a schedule to call back, and if I'm available for a 3-way, they follow their plan. They are true to the game. And so tonight, 6:30, guys, just get your teams ready. I got calls last night that teams are coming together because we have those drafts on this Sunday. So get your teams together. Let's blow our business up. Let's show them what a real March Madness can be. And so thank you very much, Coach Dan. We'll see you tonight on our 6:30 call. And again, leaders, captains, get your teams together. Let's go. And I don't care what rank you are. If you're a Pearl out there, if you're a Jade, if you just got started, you can run. So with that being said, go out and have a phenomenal kind of day. Bye. Oh, I forgot my quote. Wait, I got my quote. Don't leave. I got to tell you, the quote goes right with.
We're still here.
Okay. The quote goes right with what he said this morning. And it is, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. That's Barack Obama. So with that being said, go out and have a kind of day. Bye. Thank you. Thanks. I sent it to Pat.
Yeah.
And Skinny Minnie, have an awesome time. Y'all going to warm, beautiful Hawaiian weather. Woo. Have a beautiful time. Happy birthday, Zion.